All right, I'm Anna Apshire, your host of Mompreneurs Crushing It, and today we have Kristin Maurer. I can't wait for you to hear about how she is crushing it as a mompreneur. So here's Kristin. I'll let her take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here and support you, Anna, and mompreneurs. So yes, I'm a mompreneur. I have 3 kids. So my kids are older. They're all in their 20s. 2 are out in the world, like I like to say, and 1 is still in college. So it is definitely so interesting, each level of this. So I started this being a mompreneur 10 years ago, not doing what I'm doing right now. So I will say I've evolved through it, but I did start because I wanted to work around my kids' schedules. They were a priority. I came to school to pick them up from school, to be at their events, nights, weekends, all the things. And I'm so blessed and grateful that I was able to do that, because let me tell you, it goes crazy fast. So yeah, I mean, I started doing what I'm doing now just overnight. It was an idea because I'd been able to be home for my kids' stuff. That's how I got into vision boarding. I had so many arts and crafts. I'd done everything from volunteering at their schools to setting up events to being the fundraisers, all the stuff. And my kids were really like, Mom, go get paid for this. Like, you're doing so much. But I enjoyed it and I loved it. And that's what got me into starting vision boards. Like, I thought, you know what? I've got all these supplies and arts and crafts and things. And I loved reading and magazines and being creative. And it was just an idea I had. And that's what got me into doing what I'm doing today. So I just I let it be what it is. I let it evolve. And now I'm seriously so blessed and grateful because I love what I get to do. So it's so much fun.
I love that. And that's so cool doing vision boards, because that's something like we do once a year, and it's something that we should probably do quarterly, because our visions do change, but not to say that they're not all going to happen, right? Like, you could do them quarterly and everything would still coherent the way that it's supposed to go, and manifest. That's awesome. What a cool job. That's awesome. I love that. So, did you ever think you were going to be an entrepreneur as a little girl? Was that something that you aspired to be? Some sort of owning your own business, or did it just kind of just play out and here you are and now I'm a mom and it just kind of rolled together? What's your story?
So I can honestly say I never thought, oh, someday I'm going to own my own business, do my own thing. I mean, I was the one who went to college and I went to a liberal arts school and I wasn't even sure what my major was at first. I was just like, let me go and see, and I did graduate with an English communications, marketing degree, but I went in just being super open to it. So that tied into what I'm doing today because of my experience. I did everything from advertising to marketing to working for a nonprofit. So it did evolve. So I can honestly look back and go, wow, what I'm doing today, it kind of pulled it all together because I did have I have history and I have experience in doing special events and pulling people together. And so if I look at it from that perspective, I guess I was on a path to do it, but I was never one to go, someday I'm going to own my own company. I was just open to receiving, let's see what this happens. And yeah, I mean, I started working 4 days after college in an advertising firm. So in the movie industry. So it was a fun adventure to do that. And now here I am being able to utilize all that for what I get to do today. So yeah.
I love that. I love that, Kristin, you are in a different season, right? You're in the season of your kiddos are adults and they're out there, right? And so what motivates you to still be like a mompreneur, right? Because it's not like, I just want to be a mom. Like, yours are all big and grown, and it's like, I'm still a mompreneur. Like, what makes you thrive to continue doing your own business as opposed to maybe, wanting to go back and do a 9-to-5 type job?
Anna, I think that's a really good question. To me, at least, I absolutely love what I get to do. And I love the freedom of it, of getting to do it really wherever I want. I mean, I Zoom in clients. I work with private clients too, because I am a life coach. So I can do vision boards online. I mean, I can do them in person. I do them online. And that's just, it's the way it's evolved. but it's also allowed me to just be able to drop everything if I need to for my kids. Like when my oldest son got his job that was 5 states away, and he said, Mom, can you go with me to move? Yes, guess what? I could rearrange my schedule really easily. And I was the mom following the U-Haul, which, by the way, if you ever follow U-Haul, take a picture, because when you're doing that, they all look the same. So yeah, but that's what motivates me, because I love what I do. And I think that is so key. You have to really love what you do. And I also love that I control my own schedule, and I can, at the drop of a hat, be there for my kids or do whatever I want to do. So I mean, that's a motivation for me to be able to just, wake up every day, get excited, because it's definitely every day is a new adventure for me, what I get to do. And so I would say the first thing, love what you do. And it is true. It doesn't feel like work to me. So that really motivates me.
I really love that, because that's still, I mean, yeah, you're like, yeah, my kids are in college, but and grown ups, right? But you still get to go and do what you want as a mom, right? Like you get to go and be with them on the holidays, or go and be them with certain events, and that still fits into your schedule as a mompreneur. So it still has all played together, and it's just different, even though it doesn't matter what season you're in. I absolutely love that. So
Absolutely.
do you have any advice for any moms that are maybe interested in becoming mompreneurs, or maybe some advice for mompreneurs that may be struggling because they're trying to figure out their schedule, and then maybe like they're going to be in your season soon where they'll have maybe some in-house, some that are leaving, kind of ideas that what it's like to have both ends.
Absolutely. So I think it's really, really, really important to look at the season you're in. Like you just said, look at the season you're in. Where are your kids right now? And because it blows my mind, the age of my kids. And when they're home, sometimes the days are long, but it does absolutely fly by. But you also want to remember, as an entrepreneur too, like for example, my youngest, who's still in college, came home for fall break and was coming home a day early. And I have a once a month networking group meeting that I go to. And when he called and said, Mom told me what time he's going to be home that day, I really want to come from this place of going, oh, I'm going to be here. And my son said to me, Mom, it's your monthly group. I get it. It's okay if you're not home. But I was like, honey, this is why I do what I do. So that I can, the last minute, guess what? I'm not coming from this need lack energy if I miss a networking meeting. You have to pull back and go, hey, I absolutely am going to miss the meeting. You're not coming home to an empty house. I haven't seen you in 2 months. So what do you want me to make for dinner? So I think it's super key to look at where you are, what stage you're in your life. And remember, it's not all about the next customer, the next client. Why are you doing what you're doing? And it's because you can have the freedom and you can have the flow. And I've worked with a lot of people who that gets backwards because they go into this, like, I don't want to miss an opportunity, which I completely understand. But as a mom, I would say, pull back and go, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to have the freedom. I'm doing this to have the flexibility. And I think that's really, really, really important, because yeah, I'm glad getting my 3 in the same room is a little bit of it's an interesting trying to get all their schedules, because when you've got kids who are working and the projects and the things they're doing, so it's unbelievable, like to think, okay, how can I get you guys, like right now we're looking at after all the holidays to get the 3 of them together. So notice the season you're in, honor yourself, give yourself some grace, and go family first. So
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. And it totally makes sense, because you really have to, our kids are all in different seasons, right? Like they go from the littles to middle school to high school, and sometimes they want stuff to do with us and sometimes they don't want anything to do with us. But you have to remember, like, at the end of the day, like I'm still doing this so that I can be a part of you, whether you want me there or not, right?
yes. And I honestly think deep down, they want us there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, like, my mom got a part-time job when I was in high school, and I didn't like it when she wasn't home. It didn't mean I was necessarily going to like go hang out with my mom the rest of the night, but I kind of liked my mom just being home. I don't know. And I remember that. So my son could have walked into an empty house and it would have been fine, but it's not the mom I want to be. It's not how I wanted it to be. Like I was excited. Like he was even laughing because, you know, I had all the decorations, all the lights, everything was on. I pulled out tons of stuff and just fully decorated the house because for the holidays with him just being, and he's like, Mom, wow. And I'm like, yeah, Mom was excited you were coming home. I haven't seen you in 2 months. So
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. Well, and I think it's even as that like unspoken, like, yeah, we may not want anything to do with you at sometimes in our lives as, you know, as we grow up. But it's like that unspoken, like we want you there. We
Mhm.
just aren't gonna tell you, right? Like it's you should know, right? It's kind of like
Yes.
with our spouses, you should know what I want, right? You haven't figured it
Yes.
out. Like our kids do the same things. Like you should know they want you there for the honor roll assembly or for, you know, what
Absolutely.
lunch for Thanksgiving, you know, at the school. It's just like it's they want you there whether they're going to say they want you there or not. Because when you're not
Yes,
there, they feel it, you know,
I
and it's like,
do.
oh, okay, you know.
No, it's and you want to be there. It goes, you know what I mean? You want to be able to have that experience with them. So, and I know having my, you know, 3 kids in their 20s and people say, "Oh, it goes so fast," but I sometimes can't believe how fast it goes and can't believe I have kids this age. So, honor it and just like be there as much as you possibly can because now I have to get on airplanes for my 2 older ones. You know what I mean? Like, and I love it because now I feel like it's concentrated time. And I'm also one to like, as a mompreneur, I don't want to take work with me. So I will sometimes work harder or work, I shouldn't say harder, like put everything into my calendar so that once I get on that plane, I'm focused on that. But I like the option is if I have a call or something with a client or something comes up, I can still deal with it. But my focus usually is when I get on that plane, mama's checked out of work. Like mama's going to have fun with her kids. So it's the flexibility, it's the freedom, but just love what you do. And it's also going to be really good for your kids to see that no matter what age they're in. And they can see the importance. And mom can control her own schedule. And maybe mom can work from anywhere, whatever you do, but you still understand like they'll see it, but oh, mom thinks this is more important. So that's a thing too. Like when the kids are home, you know, be aware, checking in, that kind of stuff. So, like, one of the things I do is my kids all have specific text messages, tones, and
Oh
specific
yeah.
ringtones. And it will override even if my phone is on silent. So, pretty much everyone in my world knows that if my kids, and that's a priority to me, because if they're calling and it's going to come through, you know what? Again, it's your priorities. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? So, that's definitely motivation.
Plus, it's exciting, right? When they, you know, you get that ding and it's like, oh, it's so and so, you know, it's like,
It's my
they're
kid.
thinking here, they want something, but you know what? I'm
Yeah.
happy either way, you know?
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You know, like the FaceTimes again and you know, silly things. And like that's so cute. Like we just did a big family FaceTime call as a surprise to my son because my youngest just turned 21. So it was really fun to see him like looking at the like really like, oh my gosh, my cousins are on, my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister. Like it was really fun for him to like I have a screenshot of him leaning in and looking like, oh my gosh, look who's on. And he had just walked in from class. So it was really fun to be able to surprise them to do that. That was fun. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So it was good.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's that unspoken, you know, love, you know, that we
Yes.
all want. We just don't want to say we want it. I don't know why, but we don't.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us some tips that you do for yourself for self-care? Because it doesn't matter what mama you are and what season, we all need self-care. It's all important.
Absolutely. And you know, it's super important. And it's one of those things that we have to look at as a mom. Like, if we're not paying attention to ourselves on doing things for ourselves, and I call them my non-negotiables. It's what I work with my clients on. Like, what are your non-negotiables? So, and again, depending on the season you're in, if you have littles and they're waking you up all hours of the night, like I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I mean, I've been the mom who's falls asleep on the floor by the crib because if he pops up, we're going to start the whole night. Like time routine again or whatever. And I'm like, no, this 10 minutes of sleep was amazing to get him settled. But I will tell you, just like I meditate every morning, and meditate can be whatever it is for you. If it's just 5 minutes of quiet time when you wake up before the house wakes up, even 5 minutes can be so life-changing because it puts you in that whole kind of like, been sleeping all night. My foot really hasn't hit the ground yet. It's going to be like crazy, whatever is going on. But I need to center on me, give myself some really good time to just be able to respond to my day. So meditate every morning is something I do. I also do yoga in the morning. And I turn my yoga on, and I've gotten to the point where I just turn something on. But even like if I have early mornings, I will still get on the floor and maybe do 10 or 15 minutes. It's still something for me to do, just to wake your body up, flex a little bit, do some things. So I would say get a routine that works for you. And on those golden days where you maybe have an hour or two and you can walk through the whole process, where I will just wake up, do a little meditation, do a little yoga, get some lemon water. If I have more time, obviously those could be extended. I could maybe take a walk, but absolutely every day, because let me tell you, it's so important to do that, because if you don't, I notice it. That's why I say put it into place. And even if you take the whole thing takes to flying into your day and being in response mode, I like to think of it, instead of reaction mode. So, and then I also do things at the end of the day too. So I will read before bed, even if it's just one page, just read. I read something just to kind of put myself in a mindset. I also will put some music, different kind of music on. And then I will say one other thing I do during the day is, if I'm feeling like a little bit so much overwhelmed, check out, shut it down, go put some music on, change things up. You don't have to push through it. What you do have to check out. And I'll tell you a little secret that my youngest son will probably like, Mom, seriously, we love to go to the park and get on the swings, and he will still do it with me. Go play. If you've got little kids, that's easy. Get on the floor, go play. Because it's when you're in that like overwhelmed, anxious, I have too much to do, is literally the perfect time to go play. Your logic brain, your ego brain is going to tell you, you can do this, keep pushing, keep going. No, shut it down and go play. So those are things that I have consistently do, and I've learned to do them. So again, whatever season you're in, just honor yourself and spend some time with yourself every day. So
I love that. It's true. It doesn't matter what season you're in. We need to take care of ourselves. They may vary, but always have something to honor yourself as well, because we cannot serve from an empty vessel.
absolutely.
It just does not work.
It does not work. You're banging that cup like trying to, and if you don't do your yoga and do your stretching, I mean, hello, I'm speaking to the choir here.
Oh yeah. My routine is I do a 5-minute stretch in front of my sink as I brush my teeth, and then I do a 5-minute, because I've actually timed it to see so I could teach other people how to do it. It's like 5 to 6 minutes stretching just to get that fluidity going in your body, and that, because like we know if you wake up with a stiff neck and you don't feel good, right? Like your day's already going downhill. So that's the same if you don't have movement, right? If you can't move, are you an unhappy person? No, we're unhappy. You have no fluid in your body, and then you're trying to chase your children, and who's going to actually trip? You are, because you have no fluidity going in your body, and it's stiff and it's stagnant. And yeah, the days that I can get up and do it before my kids, it's so much nicer. But if I can't, I'm doing it in the kitchen as I'm serving them breakfast, because that is, otherwise I can't go the rest of the day. My body's hurting and I'm trying to chase down kids. There's no way. So yeah, you have to know your routine, and 5 minutes in the morning, brushing your teeth. There are days that I will be doing my yoga before I remember that I have to brush my teeth. And I'm like, wait, did I brush my teeth? But I feel good because I can at least move, and I can at least make it back to the bathroom and brush my teeth really quick while my kids are eating breakfast. But
yes, I totally get it. Yes. That's
Well,
awesome.
thank you so much, Kristen. You do have an amazing gift for everyone. Can you tell us a little bit about that gift?
Yes, absolutely. I would like to offer anyone who's interested 2 free sessions with me, coaching sessions. So the link is in there. It's just going to click on the Calendly, 2 45-minute sessions. Come for the first one. We'll talk. I'm happy to help with whatever I can help you with. And then we'll set up a next one while we're in the first one. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, if you're just feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you want some changes, if you're whatever it is you're feeling, I mean, I've probably been there, done that, experienced it, or one of my clients has. So I really want to just give that mom, or even if you just want to come, just have a conversation and not be bothered. No one tells you about that when you have a child. I walk out of the house for 13 seconds or walk out of the room. So whatever it is, if you feel called to do it, click on the link, sign up for a session with me. I would love to be able to serve you and support you, whatever journey you're on. So happy to do it for you.
I love that. That is such a great gift because let's be honest, all moms need it because there are times that you just cannot talk to your spouse anymore and you cannot talk to your children anymore and you just want to have an adult conversation with somebody else that has nothing to do with your life because it's just you need it and you have sometimes you need to just talk and need somebody else to listen and somebody just want to listen to somebody else because you just need to hear something else other than the cries, screaming, or whatever is going on with your spouse. Who knows?
Absolutely. Yes.
So that is amazing. That's a great, and not just once, but twice, everyone. So just take advantage of this. Make sure you follow. Sorry, pause. Make sure you follow Kristen on all her social media. Email her. Definitely make sure that you schedule those 2 mentorship specials that she's giving out for you all, and yeah, get in touch with her. And I thank you again, Kristen, and I can definitely see why you are a mama who is crushing it as a mompreneur.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. And thanks for inviting me. This has been so much fun.
Thank you.
So great to be on with all the mamapreneurs.
Yes, we rock. We're rocking it. We're changing it up.
Yes, absolutely.